Begin by taking a yoga block and placing it underneath the sacrum, and then take the legs out straight, relaxing the feet out to the side and relaxing the upper body on the mat. Here you should feel a gentle stretch through the front of the hips, maybe into the quad muscles as well. You're just going to remain here for a few more breaths, just breathing into any tightness and any tension that might be held in the body. Begin to hug the right knee in towards the chest. You'll notice that the left hip stretches a tiny bit deeper. If you want to intensify this, you can point the left toes away from the body. Keep breathing into any tightness, releasing with the exhale. And then release the right leg down and hug the left knee in. And this time noticing the stretch coming through the top of the right hip. And again, if you want to intensify it, just point the toes away from the body. Try to relax the upper body, the shoulders on the ground, back of the head, nice and relaxed. Again, just focusing on surrendering in this posture, allowing any tension to dissolve. And then releasing the left leg back down, take a moment to pause and notice the impact. And then begin to place the soles of the feet on the floor, take the block up to its tallest edge, and then bring it back underneath the sacrum for your bridge pose. The block is acting as a support for the back of the hips, and the hips are resting. Again, just opening up the front of the hips and into the quad muscles. Pausing here, allowing yourself the time to slowly open up. There's no rush, there's nowhere else to be. Focus only on the sensations as you pay witness to anything that's going on in the mind, any thoughts, any emotions, just allowing them to be without getting too caught up in the story. And then slowly begin to lift the hips away from the block, move it off to one side, and release both legs out straight, taking a pause, noticing the impact of those couple of postures that we've just done. And then when you're ready, make your way up into a seated position, taking the legs out into a wide V shape, making sure that you've got a nice tilt of the pelvis before you begin to walk the hands forward and relax through the upper body. Really tune into the sensation through the inner thighs. You might also feel the stretch in the hamstrings, but just for today we're focusing more on the hips. So breathe into anything that you feel in the front of the hips, and through the groin and the inner thighs. Soften through the upper body, and then gently begin to walk yourself back up. Bring the right leg in as you reach the right arm up and over towards the left toes. Stretching for a moment into the side of the body but also noticing that stretch through the left inner thigh. And then rising back up, take the right hand behind the back, point the left toes, push the hips to the sky, and lean the left arm to the back of your room. Release back down and change sides. And reaching the right arm next to the right leg, and then taking the left arm up and over, as if you're reaching towards the toes, but not really worrying if you reach them or not. The point is this stretch into the side body and into the right inner thigh. Again, slowly rising back up, take the left hand behind the back, push the hips to the sky, lean the right arm back this time. Sense that opening in the front of the hips. And then slowly begin to melt back down to the floor, bringing the soles of the feet together, knees apart. And just for a moment, flap the knees like a butterfly, and then eventually come to stillness, rolling forward into your butterfly posture. Pausing in stillness, noticing that you might feel a stretch through the lower back, but also a stretch through the inner muscles of the hips. And as you're stretching the back, you're also stretching the back of the hips. Just observe whatever is going on in your body. Observe the mind, observe the breath, observe the physical sensations. And then gently begin to rise back up. Take the feet onto the ground and begin to windscreen wipe the knees from side to side. Dropping one knee to the floor and then the other. Moving nice and slow, connecting the movement with some breath. And then making your way into a downward facing dog. Take some time to settle in the posture, and then reach the right leg towards the sky. Take a bend in the knee, stack the hips, open through the front of the hip, and then take the knee to the right wrist, the foot to the left, as we move into our half pigeon, beginning to open up through the back of the hips. Relax the upper body, focus your awareness on the back of the right hip. And keep inviting in some softness, letting go of some tension. Allow the shoulders to melt down the back of the body, the jaw to unclench. And then begin to press the hands back into the mat, lift up the chest, tuck the left toes and sweep the right leg back into your down dog. Whenever you're ready, lift the left leg to the sky, bend the knee and stack the hips, open the front of the hip, and then make your way into your half pigeon on the left side. Just coming into this posture as mindfully as you did on the other side. Taking the time to observe how it feels, where you're feeling sensation, and then softening the upper body as we breathe into the lower body. Bear witness to where the mind goes when you're in stillness. And just observe the stories that come up without becoming too attached. And gently draw your awareness back to the now, to the body, to the breath. When you're ready, rise back up into your down dog. Take a moment to paddle through the legs. And then roll the body forward into a plank, engaging the glutes as you dip the hips before pressing back up. Rolling forward, dip the hips, engage the glutes in the core. Exhale to roll back up. One more time, rolling forward, dip the hips, lift the chest, and then gently ease back up into a downward facing dog. And from here, drop the knees to the floor, sweep the feet over to one side, and then bring the soles of the feet together, the knees apart. Maybe taking the arms up over the head into a cactus shape. And just feeling into the front of the hips once more as we close out our practice in this reclined butterfly. You can stay here for as long as you like. And if at any point it gets too much, you can just take the legs out into savasana. Allow yourself to completely drift off. And just be. Soft and open. You can stay here longer, or if you're ready to, make your way back up into a comfortable seat, bringing your hands to the heart center.